When I was a kid, I was very close to Nanny Glynn, and I spent a lot of time with her.
This is one of the things that I found.
Oh, look at that. Order of Detention, Certified Industrial School. Whereas Bridget Margaret Kinahan, that's Nanny Glynn, who appears to the court to be a child under the age of 14 years, having been born, so far has been ascertained, on the 9th of January 1913. Wow. Who resides at 39 Upper Gloucester Street in the County Borough of Dublin, has been found on the 15th day of December 1919 at North Cumberland Street, wandering and not having any visible means of subsistence. So she was 6 years old, wandering the streets. Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, that must have been really upsetting for you too.
For me, I cried. I couldn't sleep for 2 nights because I wondered whether she had shoes on her feet, whether she had a coat.
You don't know how she got to be wandering the streets.
No.
Yeah, it's so shocking. So she was found wandering the streets, but she was actually outside her house. Such a kind of shocking revelation. It's insane.
Yeah.
So why was she taken away?
Because it was a common thing at the time for the NSPCC and the police to give as a reason for taking a child into care that they were wandering without a guardian. Maybe the family decided because their health was bad and because conditions were poor that she might be better off in an industrial school rather than staying.
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
And the other question is, these lovely people, did they make these kids' lives better by putting them in an industrial school?
And that is the big question.
I don't think it is a question. I don't think things were better. You know, I think that however bad things are, when you're with people that love you, even the worst conditions can be bearable. You know, I think that you're always better off with your family.
It is very sad.
I suppose what I'm interested in is what would life have been like for my grandmother here?
Well, maybe to give you an idea about what life was like, we'll start with one of the few visual images we have of children in the industrial school. So that's actually the girls lace making in this image. So the industrial schools were created in the 1860s with the specific purpose of taking in vulnerable or abandoned children and giving them a training to make them, as they would have said at the time, useful citizens.
Doesn't look like a happy place. I can only imagine how grim it must have been for a 6-year-old kid to be put into a situation like this. I can't even begin to imagine. What is she charged with? Wandering. Oh my God. If that was a crime, I'd have been put away years ago. This is interesting here, the reports of conduct and character. Intelligent, anxious and amiable, gentle and kind, ambitious and painstaking.
Do you think that reflected the woman you knew?
So much.
Really?
Yeah. Useful, very good child, very bright.
It's focused on her character.
But it also feels like she kind of accepted it.
Yeah, she's anxious initially, but by this stage she's kind and willing.
But I think that when you think about a normal child's life, how rich it would be, how colourful
it's a page,
it would be,
that's all.
It's pretty tragic. There is a sense that she just kind of got on with it.
What your grandmother's story tells us is a little bit about survival. She survives 10 years in that industrial school, comes out literate, with the ability to hold down a job, and she goes on and lives a life. So she made it.